Ken Resnick, and I'm here to say we've got the greatest wrestlers in the AWA. But you're not here to listen to me mumble. Let's fill you in on the Wrestle Rock Rumble. Get on!
Wrestle Rock, be there.
We're the Midnight Rockers, Sean and Marty. We love to wrestle, and we love to party. You don't have to worry, we're not gonna fumble, because we'll be shaking through the Wrestle Rock Rumble. Out!
Wrestle Rock. I'm the Sheik, and that's not funny. I got my army a lot of money. If Ganyan my way, I make him crumble. He be sorry, I did the Wrestle Rock Rumble.
Wrestle Rock, be there.
I'm Jerry Blackwell, I want to see. I want to get my hands on that pencil neck geek. I watch the EDF Bumble. I'm going to make my splash in the Wrestle Rock Rumble.
The AWA, you, me, and Wrestle Rock.
I'm Greg Gagnon, I'm in a rage. I want Brody and I want him in a cage. A high-flying drop kick will make him see double. I grind him up at the Wrestle Rock Rumble. Woo!
Wrestle Rock.
I'm Kurt Hennig.
And Big Scott Hall. Tag team champs will take on them all.
So bring on the long riders, those dirt-ball dumbos.
Smear those bushes, use the Wrestle Rock Rumble.
This is Vic Bockwinkel, and I've got a passion. I'll get the title back from the humanoid Hanson. I've got the brains, and I'm not humble. I'll take the belt back and do the Wrestle Rock Rumble.
Wrestle Rock, April 20th, at the Dome.
Wrestle Rock, 86, be there.
I'm Larry Zabisco. I won't be through till I get done slapping around Scott in the tooth. Gonna beat the ugly bartender into a bundle and laugh all the way doing Wrestle Rock Rumble. Ow!
This skin duck got a mouth that won't quit, but I'm Scott and I do want to smack a little shit. And when I'm through, you won't be able to mumble. I'll be left alone doing the Wrestle Rock Rumble. Yeah!
Just one last word from the former champ Vern, but give it a lot of thought to one more turn. There's some old scores that still give me trouble, and I'm starting to get the urge to do the Wrestle Rock Rumble.
So there you have it, and now you know him. And on April 20th, it's at the Dome. So get your tickets to be under the bubble, because you two can be doing the Wrestle Rock Rumble. Do it! Wrestle Rock Rumble. Wrestle Rock Rumble.
The Wrestle Rock Rumble.
Wrestle Rock Rumble.
£238 in the black corner. From St. Louis,
Here comes Mr. Crow.
Andre the Giant.
Gonna get his licks in on the bruiser. Hulk Hogan.
Number one, the greatest WWE champion of all time, and in many ways, the man who made the title what it is today, Bruno Sammartino.
His opponent weighing 236 pounds in the white corner. From Van Nuys, California.
Welcome to Retro Wrestling Rewind. This is episode number 26. As always, I am your host. I am David Fine. I am one half of the greatest uncrowned podcast tag team champions of the world, alongside my brother from another mother, my tag team partner in this endeavor, the true Long Island IC, the hell with Zack Ryder, the great Alex G. And before we get into Wrestle Rock 86, it's the big elephant in the room, the intro theme song music that we also played alongside our custom intro theme song, the Wrestle Rock Rumble. Holy shit. That was terrible. And the music video is even worse.
It's Vern Gagne rapping, which is bad, but in an awesome way.
And Scott Hall.
Scott Hall's in there. You got Kurt Hennig. Larry Zbyszko, Greg Gagne, of course.
Oh my God.
All kinds of shenanigans and tomfoolery in this rap video. Again, this was around the same time as the Super Bowl Shuffle. I think the LA Rams had a song too, and they're doing these things, and it's just awful all around. Hilarious, yes, extremely funny, but I don't know if that's all the need tickets. That would keep people away.
I mean, I was reading. I mean, as you saw in the music video, Vern Gagne at the time was 60 years old. He actually read his lines off a piece of paper. He didn't even try to memorize it or any of that stuff. I mean,
he's probably the best out of the group, and he hates black people. So,
hey,
what do you? He does.
Hey, I mean, I don't judge.
He said that black people will never draw in Minneapolis, which is a lie.
They draw in Minneapolis?
Yeah, Prince, for Christ's sakes, Prince.
Yeah, oh yeah, I love Prince. God,
Kirby Puckett, come on, guys.
Kirby Puckett.
Get it together.
God. But speaking of a show that says it drew 23,000 paid attendance in the Hubert H. Humphrey Metrodome, the former home of the
You
Twins.
mean the Triple H Dome?
Yes, the former home of the Minnesota Twins, which that's kind of got a bad taste in my mouth because I'm a big Braves fan, and they whooped up on the Braves in the World Series one year, and it was that's. I mean, sports. I mean, you Giants, Yankees, Mets. What's your team up in?
It goes like this. It goes Jets, Knicks, Yankees, Islanders.
Really?
Yeah.
What did you think of the New York Knicks owner getting that guy thrown out of the?
He's a piece of shit. No one likes him. Number one.
Who the fan or the owner?
Everyone in New York City hates his guts.
The fan?
The fans. All the fans. No one likes him.
I mean, everybody in New York hates the fan who got kicked out, or they hate the owner.
No, the owner of the Knicks.
Yeah, I heard he's terrible.
He's probably. I don't know if he's the worst owner of sports because there's a lot of pretty bad owners, but he's pretty close.
Yeah, but we digress.
His dad has a wrestling tie.
How?
His dad he invented HBO. And one of the first programs they put on HBO was live from Madison Square Garden, WWF Wrestling.
God, you know what? I don't even want to talk about that guy. I don't even know what his name is. I don't want to.
Charles.
I don't want to speak his name on this podcast. But stuff that we do want to speak about, like I said, 23,000 paid attendance. They say at that Metrodome. The first match of the evening.
Let's talk about that attendance figure. I mean, 23,000 people.
You think that was actually legit 23,000?
I think it's pretty close. I'm not sure what the St. Paul Civic Center holds, so I'm assuming the reason that they went to the Metrodome is because they could have done like maybe 16 at St. Paul Civic Center instead of the 23,000. So there's a reason to go into that stadium. But it looks like shit on TV because there's so many empty seats. And, the WWE, for all their ills, can shoot television properly while making their arenas look fucking full when they're half empty.
Yeah, I mean
it makes the show look really bad. There's so many empty seats on the hard camera, facing the hard camera, that it's almost disgusting.
Yeah, I mean the WWE, there could be two people in the arena, and they would make it look like it was jam packed. I mean, they are really good at doing that. But the first match had Brad Reganis, as they would call him.
Oh, Brad Rengas.
Yes, Reganis. Yeah. Defeating Boris Zukov. Your thoughts on this match?
I love Boris Zukov. His head is fucking humongous.
I mean, he's also, isn't he managed by was he managed by Sheik or not Sheik not Casey?
Well, that's the only Sheik that would be there at the time.
Yeah. I love a Sheik now Casey. I mean,
we all love Sheik.
The only other Sheik that I love even more is the man who I am going to try to get on the show, the great I break your back, make you humble Iron Sheik. It's going to be at WrestleCon 2019. So that's the only other Sheik I like. So, but I mean, your thoughts on
this? This is 1986. So this is pre Bolsheviks in the WWF. This is after his run in Crockett. I think he was Private Jim.
Jim
the
Neville
name
or
escapes
Jim
me.
something or another.
Where he was part of the Cobra Corps, and Jim Nelson, Jim fucking Nelson, and he was part of the Cobra Corps with Sergeant Slaughter as like Sergeant Slaughter's, privates in the Cobra Corps.
Yeah, I mean,
in Crockett.
yeah, I mean, it was a good match. It was
perfectly acceptable wrestling.
it was a good opening match. It's better.
Bren Brangus never really made it like you would think he would make it, because Vern was really pushing him really, really hard, but he never really took it to the next level. Quality wrestler all around. Again, he was in the 1975 and 1979 Pan American Games. He was in the 1976 and 80 Olympics. He won gold medals. This guy was the 1979 World Wrestling Champion as an amateur. So the guy had a legit background. It never really kind of came together for Brad. And he was in WWF as a jobber like right after this, and he would spend time in New Japan in 89 to 91. But I don't know. I don't know if he didn't have the charisma. I don't know that he just didn't have it for someone who had a background. Like he had a legitimate background. Perhaps the Brock Lesnar or Kurt Angle of his day, and he just didn't get over for whatever reason.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, it was a good match. I mean, Boris Zukov it's not a bad wrestler. It's
he's fine.
Yeah, I mean,
he would get pretty, like, what is part of the Bolsheviks? He got pretty bad, but
I mean, this next match, oh god, it was a midget match. Little Mr. T and Cowboy Lang.
I know you're a big fan of Cowboy Lang. By the way.
I'm also big. I was also a huge mark. They defeated Lord Littlebrook and Little Tokyo. I mean, you don't see many good midget matches anymore.
Well, not in America. They still have it in Mexico.
Midget Mexicans.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're
called Mexican minis.
I wonder if they have. I mean, they do have some of those shows here in Atlanta. On the over.
They have Lucha Libre shows in Atlanta.
Yes, they do.
Atlanta Lucha Libre.
They have a lot of them. Yeah, they have them at least once a month down there.
I feel that you're lying to my face.
No, I'm not lying to your face. I would never lie to your face because I've never seen your face. Actually, I have.
You don't lie behind my back.
I will. I never lie in front of anybody's face. I'll lie behind your back until the day I die. But no.
Do you think it's odd that they had little Mr. T here in 1986 while the real Mr. T is legitimately wrestling at WrestleMania 2 in 1986?
I mean, that is kind of funny. Do you think it was poking?
Who was Mr. Little T?
You think he was poking fun of the real Mr. T?
I mean, I guess, but maybe I don't know what they were doing. It's the Haiti kid. Everyone knows the Haiti kid.
For a midget match, it wasn't very short.
10 minutes. It went on for fucking ever.
I mean, come on. I think their whole it was. God,
how old was Lord Littlebrook at the time? Like 96 years old? I feel like he was like 105 years old.
Yeah, I mean, it was.
And I'm pretty sure he's too big to be a midget.
Probably, yeah. But enough of that match. It was. I mean, it was.
I mean, it's a midget match. It's on second. It's for the kids. That's what the promoters always said. That we're bringing the midgets in for the kids. But as a kid, and I was a kid during this time, I never fucking liked the midget matches. I thought they sucked.
Yeah, I mean, they were terrible. I mean, this next match, it was kind of funny. I mean, would you hate to be Colonel De Beers and Wahoo McDaniel following the midget match? That's just, I mean.
Well, I hate to be Wahoo McDaniel having to wrestle Colonel De Beers in 1986.
What were your thoughts on the great Colonel De Beers?
Well, he's, pro-apartheid, as we all know. That's his gimmick, which is weird. In 1986, I mean, this is something that could not fly today.
No.
And to be completely honest, it's something that could not fly in 1986, but it was the AWA, so no one was paying attention and watching. To have, overtly racist wrestling character that was pro-apartheid in South Africa and all kinds of, he wanted to take black wrestlers and paint them white. That was one of the things that he really liked to do. A white supremacist character in 1986 is not a good look, and in 2019 it's still not a good look.
Yeah.
But they put him against Wahoo. I mean, he got heat, and you put Wahoo, and Wahoo's a legend.
I mean, was De Beers ever a babyface, or was he always this gimmick a heel?
I mean, he was a babyface as De Beers, though. He might have been a babyface as a different character. He was trained by Lord Littlebrook too, so bless his heart.
Oh, he was.
Imagine being trained by a midget.
That's funny. Oh God. Yeah. I mean, it's just interesting. I mean, it's
Like he was funded by blood diamonds and shit. It was ridiculous. It's like
that
what is happening?
that definitely would not go over well today. I mean, that would
no, it shouldn't have went well. The whole thing is that the WWF could not even pull that off.
No.
And the WWF got away with a lot of fucking kabuki-ish shit back in the day, like Slick, right? Kabuki-ish shit. But there's no way they can get away with this because they're way too mainstream at this point in '86 to get away with that.
Yeah, I mean, it's yeah. I mean, it like you said. I mean, at least there was one legend in this match, Wahoo McDaniel, or as they would call him in NWA, Wahoo McDaniels for some reason.
Yeah, I don't know why they kept on fucking that up.
I mean, I don't know. It's probably a Gordon Sully thing.
Wahoo used to play for the Jets back in the day.
Oh, he did. Yeah, I was a big Wahoo fan.
I don't know. I haven't met anyone that'd be like, "Oh, I fucking hate Wahoo McDaniel." Like, no one.
No.
Everyone loves Wahoo.
I mean, the next match, God, had the Midnight Rockers. They lost to Pretty Boy Doug Summers and Buddy Rose. The Great Midnight Rockers. Yeah, I mean, it was an early Rockers, but I mean, what were your thoughts on the Midnight Rockers back in 1986?
It's strange to me when we look at the AWA. Now, the AWA at this time is falling fast, but this is probably their last, like, kind of big hurrah show. Again, they did 23,000 people here. And for a group that's always been criticized for having a bunch of old fogies out there all the time, is getting over, getting the title shots, winning the belts, winning the belt on a retirement match at fucking 150 years old. Having the Midnight Rockers in the AWA is a fresh breath air. You know, they had the Midnight Rockers. They had Scott Hall. They had Kurt Hennig. They had young guys. And actually, you know, not for nothing, this entire card is pretty stacked with really good talent. And you can see why they drew so well. It's just they wouldn't last for so much longer at this point. And, you know, the Midnight Rockers in general always had great chemistry with Buddy Rose and Doug Summers. Like, their matches are always fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
See the Bloodbath match from fucking Las Vegas. It's fucking nuts.
Oh, it's nuts. Yeah, I mean, I got it. What is that for?
That's on the network somewhere.
I mean, everything seems to be.
It's on a Shawn Michaels DVD too.
Oh, well, I'm gonna have to check that out. But
that fucking match is awesome.
Yeah, I mean,
I think that's the match that got them hired by the WWF.
Yeah, I mean, I love a young Shawn Michaels. I mean, he is, you definitely see a very young, very, very young Shawn Michaels in the AWA. Yeah.
Who would have thought that Shawn Michaels in 2019 will look like shit and Marty Jannetty look exactly the same?
Well,
who fucking knew?
I mean, hey, it's Marty Jannetty. But, you know, Shawn Michaels, he's going to be at WrestleCon, right?
Sure is.
You going to sign in? You going to get him to sign some of your?
Here's the thing with that. I don't know. For those of you who don't go to conventions very often, I'm going to explain it to you guys. You pay your $20 or $30 to get into the event, and then you got to pay each wrestler individually to get their autographs and to do the photo ops and stuff like that, right? And they vary in pricing, right? From as low as $20 to as high as like $100 or $150. Shawn Michaels is going to be in the higher end there. He's probably going to be somewhere around $100. And with so many people appearing at WrestleCon, you really got to kind of budget out your money here. And unfortunately for Shawn, it's like, I can only pick one or two of these really kind of high-end guys. So for me, I'm going to have to go with Jesse Ventura and I have to go with Ric Flair.
Yeah, I mean, I would.
No Shawn Michaels, no Bret Hart, and Sting, who happens to be the most expensive guest there, by the way, which is ridiculous. I think he's almost at 150. Yeah.
And hey, if you want to come by our booth, it's booth 45 on the second floor at WrestleCon. We will take a picture for you for free and sign your autograph, free of charge. Yes, that's right, free of charge. Unless you want to give us money, but we're the cheapest ones, so you won't know who the hell we are. But
us and Missy Hyatt.
What about Missy Hyatt?
Oh
God. Oh,
you missed the joke. I love you, Missy. Sorry.
Well, I just want to tell you she's coming on the show. No, that would be great if she. But like you said, she doesn't do podcasts, so well, we'll try to convince her. But the next match, Tiger Mask at the current time.
Not the Tiger Mask. The other Tiger Mask. Tiger Mask 2.
And he was an NWA International Junior Heavyweight Champion, but that title was not on the line. I'm glad that Wikipedia told me.
It's the AWA show. By the way, guys, this is Masawa for all your Japanese fans out there.
He defeated Buck Zumhoff.
Rock and roll Buck Zumhoff, the child molester.
Guy with that damn boombox. Yeah, you did say he got caught for doing that, and he's in
jail forever. He's never getting out. Right next to Sam Houston and Kendall Windham.
Kendall Windham and Sam Houston are not in jail.
Well, Kendall Windham went to jail for fucking counterfeiting $100 bills with his dad.
He wasn't making enough money back in wrestling, so he decided, hey, let's.
He needed to eat because that motherfucker was skinny.
Yeah, I think he's going to be at WrestleCon, isn't he?
Barry's going to be there. You can ask him about it if you want to. I'm like, Barry, remember when your brother went to jail?
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
No. Barry looks like he's gained a couple of lbs. I'm just saying.
Barry looks like Blackjack. Barry Windham today looks like Blackjack Mulligan. You can't even tell the difference.
Looks like he ate Blackjack Mulligan.
Blackjack was a big man. Blackjack was almost 7 feet tall.
Yeah, so I'm definitely I'm going to watch my P's and Q's. A lot of hijinks and shenanigans are going to be happening. And speaking of hijinks and shenanigans, kind of take a break from this the stellar show so far. The next match we'll be talking about is Barry Windham and Michael Rotundo versus the Fabulous Ones. But if anybody wanted to kind of take a break from listening to us and they wanted to listen to your great YouTube channel, how can they follow you on Twitter? How can they follow you on YouTube?
Well, first of all, you want to go to Twitter and go to RW Games Presents. You can follow me on Twitter. I think we're at 5,316 followers currently. I'm a good follow. I post interesting things. So definitely check me out there. In addition to that, go to YouTube and you want to type in Retro Wrestling Games in the search bar will be the first one that pops up. You go right to my channel. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit the notification bell. Watch a video, and then you can, write a comment and give us a thumbs up or a thumbs down. I don't give a shit.
I mean, it's folks. It's a great, I don't call it a time.
We just did a video on that game with a Nintendo called Tag Team Wrestling, which is awful.
But I'm sure you make it awesome, don't you?
No, it's an awful game. It's shitty.
I mean,
spoiler alert, by the way, guys.
Spoiler alert. I mean, it's a spoiler alert is like another spoiler alert, folks. Our wrestling Birch section over at What a Maneuver.
Do we get the underwear yet?
No, that's coming.
So I want to get a thong with my face on the front of it.
I mean, if you can make a logo with your face on it, it's that. I mean,
I can.
I don't know why you'd want to, but our merch. I mean, it's selling out. I got a text message from the owner, directly the owner from What a Maneuver. He says our shirts are. I mean, they're flying off the stands, folks. If you want a shirt, we may or may not have any at the show, but you can order them at the show, and then they'll be shipped to you. Just go to our Twitter page. It's the RW Rewind, and just click on the link to the What a Maneuver website, folks. I mean, we've had like in the past. I mean, since we've been talking, we've had like 6 more orders. I mean, folks, they're selling like hot.
We should get fanny packs.
That's going to be the next thing. But folks, I mean, I'm gonna be repping my gear at WrestleCon. My dad's gonna be repping his gear at WrestleCon. A couple of my buddies here are coming or repping their merch, and hopefully the great Alex G will be repping his merch, and we will even sell our shirts off our back. I will sell my shirt off the back if you want to buy it from me.
I'll wear one if it's a half shirt.
Yeah, you should order the half shirt, the wife beater. So that's what they call it. They have many things. I mean, they have women's t-shirts. They have onesies. I'm wearing the hoodie right now with a big Retro Wrestling Rewind logo. My wife said, "Hey, you look like you work at Blockbuster." And I said, "No, I don't, because they don't exist anymore." But
there's one left.
Yeah, I know. It's like in Oregon or something.
Yeah.
Who the hell? Anyway, going back to a stellar show, Barry Windham, Mike Rotundo. Did you see these fabulous jackets they had? They had their names on the back. Yeah. One said Barry, the other one said Mike Rotundo. I guess they forgot what Barry's last name was. They just didn't want to put the Barry Windham. Anyway,
Probably too long, maybe.
taking on the fabulous one, Steve Kern, Stan Lane. I was watching them. I was watching an old Superstars on the network. I think it was one of the older shows. Had Steve Kern on there when he was Skinner. Remember that gimmick he had in the WWE?
That'd be 1992 WWE.
Yeah, it was terrible. But I mean, this.
Steve Kern was on the short list
on the short bus
to be Well, that's where you reside. He was on the short list to be WWF champion when they were going to put the belt on Backlund. So the two choices were Steve Kern or Bob Backlund.
Who would you have chosen?
I would have. I know what we get in Bob. I'm not sure what we get in Steve in that spot because he's never had that top spot like that before. So I would still have to go with Backlund, unfortunately, because he was born this shit.
Yeah, I mean, and speaking of him, he will also be at WrestleCon. He's one of the many legends. I mean, Sergeant Slaughter's going to be there.
Sergeant Slaughter does not like you, by the way.
He does not like me, but he does like Boris and Bart. They're going to actually be at WrestleCon. If you listen to the last episode 25, they ended the show with their super short report they're going to be doing that for every year that we cover. They're going to be at WrestleCon, and he says he wants to meet him. He called me a maggot, and I said, "Hey, we're going to be in this."
You sure he called you a maggot? That's something else.
Well, I mean, yeah, that was.
It is Slaughter.
Yeah, I mean, it was, and just we got into it, not a heated exchange, but of course, there's people on Twitter. I mean, they tweet it, they retweet it, they say, "Oh, you should email Triple H. Good luck with that." I'm like, yeah, okay. I was just asking him if he wanted to be on the show, and I mean, it was probably a cold chance in hell, but the guy that's definitely going to be on the show, I just got some breaking news into the old text message. Be spending some quality time with Mr. Abner Max. Bill Abner on Friday after WrestleCon. We're going to be breaking bread and doing some other karaoke stuff. And I've done karaoke once, never done it in New York City. It's definitely going to be interesting. It's going to be one of those things that we're definitely going to have to talk about on
a night out with Bill Apter is worth your weight in gold.
That's a lot of weight and a lot of gold, but it's going to be fun. We'll definitely give the old report back. I'm not sure if what happens in New York stays in New York, kind of like in Vegas. I mean,
everyone knows about it.
I mean, hey, Bill Abner said he's got to be back in the where he's staying by midnight. So, I mean, we could be out till at least 7:30. I don't know. It's good. It'll be fun, but I'll report back to you. And hey, if you want to know what really happened on my journey with the legendary Bill Abner on Friday, you have to be there at WrestleCon on Saturday because we're gonna maybe spill the old beans because
I'm pretty sure that the headquarters for PWI was on Long Island, by the way. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure.
You know who would probably know?
Bill Abner.
Yes. He probably would know. I would ask him, but yeah, well, definitely if you want to know. We're going to have some hijinks and shenanigans. I mean, at WrestleCon, it's coming up in, a couple weeks time, 3 weeks time.
I want him to give me a fictitious award like he did the Hulk Hogan and Sting in WCW.
I love fictitious awards. I've gotten a lot of them. Did you get a lot of participation awards as a kid?
No, I grew up in the 80s.
Oh, so you actually earned them?
No, I just didn't get shit.
Yeah.
I got no trophies.
I mean, yeah, I was on the homeschool baseball team, and I didn't even make it. It was just weird. I don't know. But neither here nor there. But
I tried out for wrestling, and then I shoot DDT the kid, and then the coach yelled at me, and I left.
I'm sure that's probably a true story. But
it is a true story. That's my father. He was embarrassed as all. Like, oh, God.
I mean, I'm embarrassed for you. I mean, I'm embarrassed for him. I mean, it's just.
But how many kids probably did that shit, though?
Probably. I mean, back.
A ton, probably. Like in 89, 90, 91, probably a shitload.
Yep.
Came in and tried to body slam a kid or try to give someone a running leg drop or put them in a figure four in their amateur wrestling tryout or, practice. It probably happened all the fucking time.
But what are your thoughts on this match? I mean, I was a big Fabulous one.
The Fabs? We all love the Fabs.
I'm a big Stan Lane fan, of course. He's also going to be at WrestleCon. So is Barry Windham.
Yeah. We have Barry and Rotunda right off their WWF Championship run. They were tag team champions for WrestleMania 1. So, they just recently lost the belt, I believe, to Dream Team? Was it the Dream Team? I want to say it's the fucking Dream Team. Brutus Beefcake and Greg Valentine. I think they lost it to.
Probably. I mean, it's.
I don't think they lost it there. I mean, they lost it to Sheik and Volkov at WrestleMania 1. And then regained it right after that. But I want to say they lost it to the Dream Team.
Yeah, I mean, it's. I'm a bit.
I know Brutus Beefcake's your favorite wrestler.
He's. You know what? Shut up. He's going in the Hall of Fame. Okay, he's going into the WWE fictitious Hall of Fame. You shut.
Is he going in as Brutus Beefcake or is he going in as the Booty Man? Because I'm hoping he goes in as the Booty Man.
Yeah, I think he's going in as the Booty Man. God, I mean,
this high knee.
Well, I mean, what? Okay, so. NASCAR.
You want my thoughts on the WWE Hall of Fame?
I mean, NASCAR has a Hall of Fame. The baseball house of Hall of Fame.
NASCAR. There's a bunch of people driving left.
Shut up. You don't understand that because you're from the north. They don't have a track up north. But I mean, they have baseball, they have football, they have all those other Hall of Fames. But the WWE Hall of Fame. I mean, what are your thoughts? I mean, they have a pro wrestling a real actual brick and mortar pro wrestling Hall of Fame. What are your thoughts on that? They don't even have a place that people can go see this shit. I mean, you can see it at Access at WrestleMania, but
right. Do you know where the stuff at Access goes when it's not on display during Access?
The warehouse.
Not necessarily the warehouse. It's in the lobby of the WWE Titan Towers.
That's a lot of shit to put in.
Only people who enter Titan Towers would know that.
Have you entered Titan Towers before?
No, I tried to go there when I was 9 years old for a family vacation. They wouldn't let us in.
They're like, you were like, do you know who I am? And they were like, yes, we know who you are, kid.
Well, imagine 9-year-old me convincing my parents it was a good idea to take me to Titan Towers for our summer vacation.
What the hell? I mean, what the hell were you doing?
Here's the thing. When I was 9 years old, I figured that Titan Towers, the fact that I even found the address, goes to go how crazy I was as a little kid. I actually found the address. But in my head, I thought it would be like wrestling Disneyland. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Hulk Hogan's going to be there hanging out. Like Savage is going to give me action figures. I figured they had an action figure warehouse or something. But nope, it was a fucking office building. Security wouldn't let us in.
I love action. I would have an action figure warehouse. That'd be great.
That's what I thought. Instead, we went to Mystic Seaport, which is also in Connecticut.
Yeah. You speaking of figures, you hear about the new Young Bucks figures, LJN.
They're running like $40. I heard they were running like $40, which is not terrible. I don't know if I would buy those. Like if I had other LJNs, which I don't, I probably would. But since I don't have any other LJNs, I wouldn't buy those.
No,
I don't think.
I mean, I probably would not buy it. I mean, God, this next match, Giant Baba, who at the time, it's got to be 100 at the time, took on Bulldog Brown in a singles match. They went 8 minutes and 28 seconds. Your thoughts on Giant Baba?
Nice to see Baba in the States. I mean, he is the owner and proprietor of All Japan Pro Wrestling at this time. Bulldog Bob Brown, another guy who's a terrible human being. He should be burning in hell.
Why? So, what did he do?
Well, there's a lot of. You can go ahead and look those up.
Okay, we won't mention his indiscretions on the podcast. Okay,
nah.
Okay. I'll look it up in a minute. We'll kind of glaze over this match. I mean, it was Giant Baba defeating Bulldog Bob Brown.
It's Giant Baba. Giant Baba in 1986 couldn't work no more. Like he's pretty much done. At this point in Baba's career, he's doing comedy matches. So he's not necessarily doing anything of any renown. He was smart enough, and Inoki wasn't, where Baba took himself out of the main events and he's doing mid-card comedy six-mans. Yeah. Where Inoki is still on top, beating all the young guys that are coming up through the ranks at New Japan. So, keep that in mind.
Yeah. I mean, and then the next match, it was Harley Race versus, as they would call
Harley Racist?
Yeah, Harley Racist. No, Harley Race took on, as they would call him on the show the whole entire time, Ricky Martel, in a double countout. Your thoughts on this? I mean, this is 86 Harley Race, 86 Rick Martel.
Well, Harley Race is on his decline here. This is probably shortly before he would sign with the WWE, by the way, and become King Harley Race. and get beat up by JYD and Hacksaw Jim Duggan for the entire time. Martel wins the belt when? When does Martel win the AWA championship? It had to be around this time, I would assume.
Yeah, I mean, I think he I don't know. Definitely around that time.
See, he would win it. He had just lost it. He just lost the belt to Stan Hansen.
Oh.
So he just recently was the AWA World Champion. So, and in a couple of months, and it's going to be a running theme. Off to the WWF he went.
That seems to be a theme of a lot of these guys on the show.
Yeah, I mean, it's just because it's AWA, and what are you going to do?
Yeah, man.
I wonder if they build this as former NWA World Champion Rick Martel versus former AWA World Champion Harley Race.
I'm sure they did. Not.
Very interesting.
I mean, that was a good match. Next match was a 10-woman battle royal. Sherry Martel defeated Luna Vachon, Joyce Grable, Katie LaRue, Rose Devine, Taylor Thomas, and Misty Blue Sins, Debbie Combs, Candy Devine. I wonder if Candy Divine's related to Rose Devine. Just saying. I mean, what were your thoughts on this? I mean, Sherry Martel, Luna.
The only that kind of stands out to me is the fact that I've seen Misty Blue Sims naked pictorials before. So that's always nice.
Yeah, that is.
Well, she used to do like apartment wrestling and shit, I think.
Yeah.
Were you a big fan of the apartment wrestling? I feel like that you were someone that would be into the apartment wrestling.
I was. It was in the back of the.
Was
that in the back of the Apnomax?
It was.
I'm gonna have to ask. I'm gonna have to ask him about that and see.
It was his fucking apartment. I bet.
I'm gonna ask him. Was it his apartment in wherever he lived? That seems. Yeah, I didn't understand apartment wrestling, but I mean, I guess I don't know. Yeah. Now you had.
Well, it's another look at Sherry Martel and how she probably, of all the female wrestlers of the '80s, if I had to stack them, if I had to kind of rate them or rank them from 1 to 10, I'd put Sherry up there as number 1. I would Wendy Richter as number 2. In the United States, of course.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big Sherry Martel. I mean, were you a fan of hers now, or more a little bit maybe in WCW, or we think she kind of declined when she went to, back in the mid '90s?
She was always good. What's cool about her is that she might be one of the only female managers that could get beat up and no one would feel bad about it. You know what I mean? Like she used to take bumps and she used to beat up by the guys all the time, but for some reason that was okay because it was Sherry.
Yeah, I mean, she was definitely wrestled like a man. I mean, it was a 10-woman battle royal. I mean, it's a
10-woman battle. I mean, clearly Vern is he has his midgets, he has his women battle royal, he has his guys in for Japan, so he's definitely throwing everything he can get on this show.
Yeah, I mean, it was there's 16 matches. I mean, it's
long.
It's a long match.
WrestleMania 4 fucking late.
The next match went 9 minutes and 54 seconds. It was Sergeant Slaughter defeated Kamala by disqualification. It was a singles match for the AWA America's Championship.
What the fuck is America's Championship?
I don't know. Let me click on the old link on the old.
What does that represent?
Does it
represent America?
It was established in January of '85, retired August 26th of '86. First champion Larry Zbyszko, longest reign Sergeant Slaughter, shortest reign Larry Zbyszko. Oh my God!
There's only 2 champions.
I mean, seriously, Larry Zbyszko was the first. It was oh my God! It was terrible. God, what was this? It's kind of like the back when NWA was around back in the mid '80s. They would have like an NWA Long Island champion. They would have different regional championships.
Yeah, but that's because the NWA was a bunch of regional promotions, and when Crockett still started absorbing some of these promotions, he kind of just kept their belts around for a while. So that at least kind of makes sense. We're just creating a belt here for no reason, which I'm assuming is probably their version of the IC belt. I guess that's what they had in mind probably initially. It just didn't work out that way, and just deactivated it because no one gave a shit about it.
Nope. I mean, they only had 2 champions. I mean, the Living Legend and
Slaughter was huge too at this time. Slaughter Like he just debuted on G.I. Joe not too long before this.
Yeah, I'm a bit, if for some strange reason he's actually listening to the show, I'm a big fan of Sergeant Slaughter.
We all love Sarge, except for the year and a half that he was pro Iraq.
Yeah, that once again, those gimmicks wouldn't work now. I mean, I think the WWE.
It didn't work back then. That's the whole concept. It did not work back then. It killed their business. That's the reason why they couldn't go into the fucking stadium like they wanted to, and they had to go to the fucking LA Sports Arena. That's legit. No one gave a shit about this fucking angle. They're getting mainstream reports about how this is in poor taste in mainstream newspapers. Meltzer's fucking ripping this. Fucking everyone's fucking ripping this fucking angle. It didn't work like that.
No, and it would definitely not work.
Not for nothing. Let's be honest, though. I'm going to be 100% completely honest. If it was just Slaughter without the Iraqi stuff, because his promos in 91 are on fucking fire. Like, he is killing it on the fucking mic. If it just had been just normal ass Sergeant Slaughter, like heel, Crockett-style Slaughter, that whole program would have done 1,000 times better.
Yeah, I mean, it would have definitely done a lot better. But, I mean, it was Kamala. I mean,
I love Kamala. Everyone loves Kamala.
Yeah, I mean, didn't he have to have his legs amputated?
Yeah, that diabetes is fucked up.
Yeah,
man.
Not a big fan of the diabetes, but
I heard he's running for president. Is that true?
Yeah, he. I saw on Twitter that he was. He was going to run for president.
He's from Uganda.
I mean, he can't do any worse, I guess, than our current president. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. He's in the Hall of Fame.
Kamala?
No, Donald Trump.
Kamala is someone I would vote for the Hall of Fame, I think.
Yeah, I mean,
like, why the fuck not? Like, if I had to weigh, right, in terms of overall impact, and we'll just talk WWE here, overall impact of the WWE, right? You have Tori Wilson in one hand, and you have Kamala in the other hand. I think Kamala had a bigger impact than Tori Wilson.
Yeah, I mean,
I like Tori Wilson too, don't get me wrong. But I think Kamala has a bigger impact.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of Tori Wilson, she was supposed to be at WrestleCon, but she got canceled by the WWE. So, yeah, I'm sure they'll. Hopefully, they won't. I mean, has your in your past experience at like WrestleCons and all these other WrestleFests, do a lot of wrestlers cancel at the last minute, or is it just usually kind of?
I mean, there's no shows because they're fucking wrestlers. Like again, and it's your notable list. Like, oh crap, Sid's coming. Is it softball season? Oh man, I hope he fucking makes it. Right? I went to one and actually had to get my pre-order for Kevin Nash. I had to get refunded because he couldn't make it for whatever reason. I think there's a couple of guys here and there that don't make it, but then weird ones show up like Kurt Kirchner for no reason. Hey, there's that one convention I went that J.J. Dillon was there, but he wasn't signing autographs. He was just walking around. It was weird.
Yeah, I mean, it'll definitely be interesting. I mean, because like I said, we're at booth 45, second floor. We are right next to the great Hacksaw Jim Duggan, right across.
Dugan.
Yes, Hacksaw Jim Dugan. We're right across the street from, right across the way from, like, probably within 10 feet of Mick Foley, Ric Flair, Lita, Trish Stratus. DDP is going to be over there. Kevin Nash is going to be over there. There's a boatload of people. If you can't, for some reason, find us, we're going to have a big banner behind our booth. Just find Hacksaw, Ric Flair, Mick Foley, all those guys. And it'll probably be where a lot of the people are because
we're raffling off a basket, too.
I know. And folks, if you get there early on Friday, before I get there, because I'll be flying in that morning, super early.
If you get there and you try to talk to me, I'm probably not going to be nice to you.
No, I mean, he's an asshole to me.
Because, welcome to New York, motherfucker. How about that?
Yeah. But no, we're going to have some entry blanks that you can just write your information on. It's super simple. I mean, we are talking about wrestling fans.
And you don't have to be there either. We'll probably get your phone number or something.
Yeah, I've got all that information written down. We'll have...
we will destroy all the phone numbers after you give it to us. We will put them in a shredder or something.
No, I'm actually going to sell them to telemarketers. But anyway, but no, I'm not going to do that. But yeah, we're going to be giving away this. I mean, we got so much cool stuff. I mean, we got some wrestling figures. We got some old mags. We have an even retro.
And we're not talking about Hustler, guys. We're talking about wrestling magazines.
Maybe some after mags. We have the old apartment wrestling in the back. But I don't know.
Yes.
I'm not sure what you're contributing to this basket. I've heard it's going to be cool, but it's definitely hey, folks, you have nothing to lose. It's free. I mean, it's a raffle. It's a free raffle. You don't have to buy anything. You don't have to sign up for anything. We're not able to do that because it's New York and they don't allow that kind of stuff. So it's we're going to go away.
Hey, did anyone ever buy Wrestle magazines? And if so, weren't they weird?
What the hell's Wrestle?
You never had any Wrestle issues?
No.
It's a wrestling magazine. It's like one of those weird ones. Like it wasn't like an after mag. It was like there's a couple different ones. There's like New Wave Wrestling, which was a weird fucking magazine. There was Wrestle Eye. Eventually there was Wow, that were aftermaths that were kind of weird and different. But Wrestle Eye was fucking weird.
Yeah, and I think I may have heard it, but I don't think I've ever. I mean, do they even have wrestling magazines anymore?
Yeah, you get your PWI comes out like every, I think 2 months now, or 3 times every 3 months.
I'm a big fan of the PWI Top 500. So it's a true ratings. It's true test of the.
He won it last year, Omega. He won it.
I think so. He was the champion at the time, so I would assume he. But it would definitely be a fun time. We're going to be like Alex said, we're going to be raffling off a basket of cool merch stuff. We're going to be having you a chance to order some T-shirts, that will be sent to you. We're going to be having, the coolest thing that I think we're going to be doing, besides talking to all the legends and doing so many shows, it's going to be mind numbing, but it'll be fun. It'll be fun. We'll be talking to a lot of wrestling fans. Stop by our booth 45, floor 2. I know that sometimes you go to these conventions, you're kind of out of your comfort zone. You don't know these people. You don't want to approach us. We're approachable. Well, at least I'm approachable. I don't know about Alex G. I mean, he could.
I look pretty surly, to be completely honest, but not really.
But he is. But just approach us. We're gonna be recording, and we want to have all of our fans of the Retro Wrestling Rewind and our new fans that we're going to meet up there, sit down with us and record an episode of the show or your favorite memory of wrestling's past. Like I say in our moniker, when wrestling was wrestling, it wasn't sports entertainment; it was wrestling. So if you have any of those memories, kind of get them in the old memory bank, or write them down, or text yourself, put in the old notes in your phone. Just come by booth 45. We are on floor 2, and hey, if you've gone past Hacksaw Jim Dugan, you've gone too far. We'll be right next to him. But the next match, Scott Hall, Kurt Hennig defeated the Lone Riders of Scott Irwin and Bill Irwin. It was for the AWA World Tag Team titles.
Yeah, it sure was. Not for nothing. Let's be completely honest here. Eventually, they do turn Kurt Hennig heel. Scott Hall leaves at some point. But I would really like to see a Scott Hall and Kurt Hennig versus the Midnight Rockers.
Yeah.
Instead, we got the Lone Riders, which I like. I like Scott Irwin. Not so high on Bill, though.
Why don't you like Bill?
Oh,
did you piss him off somehow, and you just don't like him?
No, it's just out of the two, I prefer Scott.
Yeah, I mean,
in terms of a worker, I mean, Scott ended up dying and stuff like that, and Bill became the goon in the WWF. So,
I mean, he's the goon. I mean, it's
that's just a bad gimmick. Why did they do that? Like, they did it to all those guys. Did Tracy Smothers and your Tom Brandy's and Bill Irwin.
Yeah, it's an idea just popped in my mind. I know I'm stealing this from another highly successful podcast. Folks, if you hear a phrase or catchphrase or something that somebody on this podcast always says, maybe we'll make a shirt about it. The phrase that comes to mind that we could put on a shirt is "not for nothing." We could put that on.
Why do I say that a lot?
Yes, you do, but that's okay. That's okay. I say a lot of things that are probably annoying and things we could put on T-shirts. But yeah, think about that. Send us a tweet at the RW Rewind, which we actually this past week I know you don't find this very, very exciting because you have so many fucking followers on Twitter. How many followers again do you have on Twitter?
5,316.
And they're actually all real people. They're not like bots.
Real people. I mean, I don't know. People might be overstating it a little bit. I mean, definitely 5,000 wrestling fans.
We have over 1,000. Yes, 1,000. Yes, I know that's not a big number to your YouTube channel and your Twitter, but hey, it's a big number. I wanted to hit it before we went to WrestleCon, but we hit it before. So thanks for everyone listening. Our 1,000th Twitter follower was a guy by the name of @Ryan Kayafa. He's going to be getting some extra. He's actually going to be. He said he's going to be attending WrestleCon.
Oh, bless his heart.
And WrestleMania with me. But it's a buddy of mine, another buddy of mine on Twitter who follows us, Rodney. He actually won something from us a while back. He's kind of putting in the conspiracy theories that this whole 1,000, the person hits 1,000 gets something special prize is rigged because I happen to know this person that won. Hey, I am a lot of things, but I'm not a crooked podcaster. I do a lot of bad things, but I'm not crooked. I am not crooked. I will tell you that until the day I die. So.
Just your peanuts.
Yes, it is. But I mean, hey, you know that. I mean, hey, you never know that. Things can happen in New York. I'm just saying.
I get Missy Hyde to fix that for you.
Oh, hey, I mean, if she comes on the podcast, whatever.
Well, twice if you're lucky.
Well, maybe. Speaking of somebody who was not lucky, Scott Ledoux defeated Larry Zbyszko with Larry Hennig as a special guest referee. I mean, what are your thoughts on this? I mean, I love Larry Zbyszko.
Scott Ledoux versus Larry Zbyszko?
I mean, it was...
wasn't Scott Ledoux was a referee during this time frame, and this is, I guess, Scott getting his revenge on Larry for doing all kinds of shenanigans and tomfoolery. Keep in mind, guys, there's not a whole lot of TV available around this time period, so you don't really get the full impact of the angles and feuds. And not for nothing, it's the AWA, so you're not getting the full effect of angles and feuds anyway. But this is definitely a feud type matchup here. You had Larry the Axe Hennig as special guest referee here. Yeah, I mean, it's just again. It's Vern throwing everything he has on this show.
16 matches.
Everything.
Really, Vern? 16? Good Lord. I mean, you couldn't...
Surprised he's not in the fucking main event, though.
Yeah, well, he's in the semi. He's in the semi.
Close.
Oh, man. Speaking of a match, it was for the AWA World Heavyweight title. Nick Bockwinkel defeated Stan Larry Hansen by disqualification. Are you a big fan of Stan Hansen?
Yes.
Who's actually who's still alive and well. So I mean, if he's listening to the show, big fan. Nick Bockwinkel, what are your thoughts on him?
Pure class. That's an inside joke. If you get that joke, please let me know. It's an inside joke, though. But he is pure class.
I mean, are you surprised that they didn't give the belt to Nick at this time?
No, because you wouldn't want to go backwards here. I mean, you don't know that Stan's going to leave with the belt either at this point. So you're not going to, Stan doing his matches. Who's the babyface in this match? Is it Bockwinkel the babyface in this match?
Yeah, I mean, it seems to be.
Fucking hey. Yeah, you're not putting at this point in 1986. You're not putting the belt back on Bockwinkel. At least you shouldn't.
Yeah.
Although they most likely probably handed him back the belt once Stan leaves. Well, who gets the belt after Stan? Let's see. AWA World Heavyweight Champion.
Not for nothing.
Not for nothing.
That's going to be a shirt.
It would be... No, Bockwinkel wins the belt back. On June 26, 1986, he gets awarded the belt because Stan leaves. So there you go.
Stan Lee?
Stan Lee, the creator of Spider-Man.
Stan leaves. Okay. Yeah, I mean, this is a good match. I mean, like I said.
Well, yeah, because it's Stan Hansen and Nick Bockwinkel. And Bockwinkel, he can go. You know what I mean? And then Stan is Stan. I mean, I guess eventually you're trying to get to Kurt, but that's more than a year away at this point.
Yeah. God, I miss Kurt Hennig. He was so good. Holy crap!
You all miss Kurt.
He is. I mean, there's a lot of wrestlers that have died that you'd be like, yeah. I mean, they didn't leave their mark on the business, but God, he was so good. Him and Bobby Heenan together as a team, they were awesome. Yeah,
not together for as long as people think they were together either. They only been together for, I would say, a year and a couple months.
I mean, that's another thing, folks, that we can talk about at WrestleCon. We can talk about stuff like that when we can just sit down and have a one-on-one conversation or a two-on-one or we're gonna be able to tape up. We're gonna be able to have up to 6 people at one time.
Come up to the hotel room and do opponent wrestling. Or hotel
it'd be hotel room wrestling. But that's on Patreon. That's an extra. You have to pay for that. But no, yeah, folks. I mean, we could talk about stuff like this. I mean, you love you love Kurt Hennig, Bobby the Brain Heenan. I mean, God, if Bobby the Brain Heenan was still around, still alive, and was able to have a podcast, man, that would be super. I mean,
you ever listen to the shoot interview for our video?
I did not. I need to look.
It's this is before he gets sick. So like he's still Bobby as we knew him.
His voice.
Although he does mention the voice is like he's starting like he does mention that he's sick, but he's not. He's still Bobby at this point. Yeah. He's like he hasn't lost the weight or anything. He's just Bobby, and he has some really interesting takes, and he loves Hulk Hogan according to this interview, which is so weird to me.
Yeah, it's The next match was a steel cage match. It pitted Greg Gagne, Superfly, Jimmy Snuka taking on Bruiser Brody and John Nord.
It's funny to see Brody and Nord. Nord being a Bruiser Brody ripoff. I mean, they're friends, so. Nord always did it as a kind of a homage to Brody anyway, hence the Berserker. I mean, Superfly Snuka, 1986 Snuka. Oh, he's killed people. He's most likely on drugs.
Had he killed somebody by that?
Yeah. He think he killed that girl in 83.
3 years post-murder.
Yeah, post-murder. And then probably the worst thing that could happen to him is teaming with Greg Gagne.
Why is that the worst?
Because it's fucking Greg Gagne. That's why.
You're not a fan?
Have you looked at his body from an objective point of view? I mean, he doesn't have to be Lex Luger, but he's the equivalent of Kevin Owens without the shirt on.
Ugh.
That's what I'm saying.
Holy moly!
He's a nice dropkick though.
Yeah.
Not as good as Jumpin' Jim Brunzell, though.
Oh, Jumpin' Jim Brunzell. I mean, this.
Yeah, you have Brody. And this is a cage match. Again, Brody is Brody, and he goes around and he does mission things across the country, would it be in World Class or in the AWA. Brody never really spent much time in Crockett, though, which is, I wonder why.
Yeah, I mean, it's.
Because he would have been a perfect villain for Dusty in Crockett.
Yeah, he would have. He was never in WWF, was he?
He was. No, he was. Early. He fought Bruno. He fought Bruno. Pedro. He definitely fought Bruno. And I think he had matches with Backlund. Well, back in the day, it was different with WWF. It's weird. Like, they were bringing top heels in for 3 matches with Bruno, Backlund, and Morales, and they were gone after that.
Yeah, I mean, that's weird. They don't do it. You would never see them do that now. I mean, it's like, I don't.
Wrestling would be a whole lot better if they did say that much. These guys would stay on TV.
Yeah, but
like, who gives a shit about Randy Orton? He's been on TV for literally 15 years. I'm sick of his face.
Hey, but he's gonna
go away. Go make a movie or something.
I mean, he's gonna be wrestling at WrestleMania. I mean, he hasn't wrestled in forever, but now they give him anyway. Whatever.
That's with your neighbor AJ Styles.
Oh yes, the man who has his kid's date of birth and such on his rib cage. That's dedicated.
I have a tattoo and I regret it. I wish I didn't have it
on your face.
I wish it was on my face. At least it could be like Tyson. But there's some guys that don't need to have tattoos. AJ Styles being one of them, and Hulk Hogan being the other one. I found the fact that Hulk Hogan has tattoos now very fucking disturbing.
Yeah, you know,
and AJ doesn't need them.
You know what AJ also doesn't need? A freaking soccer mom haircut. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
I mean, God, get a freaking haircut. I mean, jeez. Anyway, moving on.
He's still the best wrestler in the WWE, by the way.
No.
It's true.
No.
Like who's better than him? You like Seth Rollins?
No.
You're a Baron Corbin guy. I know you're a Baron Corbin
yes,
guy.
I'm a big Baron Corbin. No,
I fucking knew it.
No, the recent call up Ricochet.
Ricochet has not had any of the stellar matches that AJ Styles has. Not yet, at least. I'm not saying that he won't. I'm saying that he hasn't.
I mean, his matches in his lucha matches, I mean, they were really good.
I feel like you're trolling me with this.
Huh?
I don't believe you.
Believe you what?
I don't believe you feel this way.
I do.
I feel you're trolling.
Yeah, I mean.
No, stop. You're making things up. It's not true.
I don't know what.
Ricochet had no high profile matches so far. Not counting anything in NXT. On the main roster, he had 0.
Well, I'm glad.
He's in a tag team with fucking Aleister Black for no reason. Why?
Whatever. Well, whenever he's a champion, you'll come back and say you're right.
You this is stuff that you would book.
Yes, I would book Ricochet.
In a tag team, Aleister Black having Viagra on the pole matches. This has you written all over.
Hey, I'm a huge Ricochet mark. I'm sorry.
I love Ricochet myself. I've seen him at Evolve. I was there. Seen him more than once.
But not for nothing.
Not for nothing. I don't know about his tattoo either. His tattoo bothers me.
Well, I mean, he did have a nice choice in ladies to date, but I don't think they're dating anymore. So
he's dating. He has a new companion these days. I forget who it was. So who do you think is better, Ricochet or Greg Gardner?
Harley Race.
Harley racist.
No, Harley Race. Hey, that man has cancer. Ric Flair thought he was dying, but he's not. So that's good.
Ric Flair is a fucking gossiper.
It's like
holy shit.
Like the Real Housewives of professional wrestling.
Yo, there's this shoot interview with Piper and fucking Flair, and they sound like two old women at a fucking diner fucking gossiping about everyone. It's fucking fantastic. Go watch that.
Is it an RF video?
It's either RF or High Spot. I don't think it's High Spot because I think High Spot would matter.
That's funny. But speaking of something that's funny, Vern Gagne defeated Sheik Adnan Al-Kaisi in a steel cage match. They have 3 steel cage matches back to back to back. What the hell's up with that? What the hell's up with that?
Like I said, they threw everything. This is it. If the AWA would have closed after this show, they would have went out with a fucking bang. Not for nothing.
But they didn't.
They didn't. They went out for fucking another 4 years, almost 5.
Yeah, it's What are your thoughts on this match? I mean,
on Vern wrestling, it's fucking awful. It's like Vince wrestling today. It's fucking shit. And Greg is fucking Shane McMahon.
You're not a fan of the Greg and Vern Gagne, are
you? I like Vern pre 1980. Anything post 1980, not cool. Although I do find it hilarious that Eddie Sharkey shot up his fucking office because Vern was sleeping with his wife. But that's neither here or there.
That's rumor and innuendo, I'm sure.
And then Vern always tries to pimp out his daughters to wrestlers. It's fucking weird.
Huh. Really?
So whoever his top guy is, he tries to get his daughters to marry him, a.k.a. Hulk Hogan.
Why did he try to get Hogan to marry his daughter?
Yeah. He caught up. He caught up Zbyszko with that shit. Zbyszko actually did it.
Married his daughter?
Mm-hmm.
Did he promise him a top spot in the promotion? I would assume
he had a top spot in the promotion basically the entire time.
Yeah, I mean, hey,
minus a run in like 1988 in WCW.
I mean, are you surprised that someone back in 1980, the mid 80s, coming up in wrestling would not do that?
I was surprised that Vern Gunn having a match with Sheik Adnan Casey in 1986. That's what I'm fucking surprised
How
about.
was Sheik Adnan Casey at this time? Like 100?
He's 100 now, but he's on Twitter. He's a good Twitter follower. A good Twitter follow, by the way.
I will have to follow him. I don't think he's
80 years old on Twitter. Bless his heart.
wonder if he's actually running. If he actually does the tweets.
No, he runs his Twitter
because we know the Iron Sheik doesn't. So.
No, but he runs his own Twitter because I've had conversations with him.
Does he hate you too? Like who?
No, Slaughter actually likes me.
No, there's someone else on. Rip Rogers. No, one of those.
Rip Rogers yells at me all the time.
I mean, how could anybody hate you?
Eddie Edwards doesn't like me.
Isn't he going to be at WrestleCon?
Eddie Edwards is not going. There's no TNA people there. It's not that I know of. Brian Cage is there, but I don't know if he counts.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of people.
I mean, Impact Wrestling, if you want to be a jerk about it.
No, I don't want to be a jerk about it. But
hey, you ever notice that TNA Impact Wrestling is perpetually stuck in WCW 2000?
Yeah.
It's fucking weird, man.
It was a freaking promotion that was on the former TV Guide channel. I mean,
they have TV right now?
Yeah, they're on like some revival channel or some.
I thought they were on Twitch.
They are on Twitch and some other channel that no one gets.
Which is not necessarily bad. I mean, AAA is on Twitch. CMML has their weekly shows on YouTube, which is not necessarily bad.
I mean, what are your thoughts on that? I mean, that seems to be a greater audience to capture because, I mean, if you want to capture the younger viewers, you got to go on all the.
I'm just saying. I'm saying this. This is what I'm saying. As someone who knows, someone who has firsthand knowledge, YouTube does not pay me. They do not fucking give you money, and they look for every fucking excuse or algorithm, quote unquote, to fuck you out your money.
Are you trying to say you've been shafted by YouTube?
I got fucking 2 cents yesterday, dude. What the fuck is that? I'm fucking pissed.
And how much should you have gotten?
Probably like 18 cents.
Hey, I mean, taxes.
No, fuck that. And I'm assuming like every time like one of these YouTubers get in fucking trouble, whether it be a PewDiePie in the fucking Suicide Forest or someone doing some dumb shit, and every time they fucking have advertisers pull out of YouTube, it literally affects me every single time. I'm like, why is it not affecting the people that actually do this dumb shit? But me, with the little video games, who's trying to make 20 cents so I can buy a video game after a year of doing this dumb shit. No, I'm the one that gets fucking, we're going to cut you 16 cents a day. Fuck you.
But yet, you still keep on doing it.
Yeah, because, what do I do? Go on fucking Daily Motion?
No,
Fuck.
I mean, you could do a Twitch. You could have
I could do Twitch, but I don't live stream.
Yeah, you don't have a camera.
I don't have a face for live streaming.
You don't have a face for radio.
That's true.
But
I wear a mask.
But that's neither. Hey, that's not for nothing. The main event had my favorite tag team in the history of God's green earth, the greatest rock and roll band of all time.
Oh,
Michael Hayes, Jimmy Jam Garvin.
He's not Jimmy Jam yet.
Well, he'll always be Jimmy Jam in my heart, brother.
Jimmy Jam starts in, I think, in 1989.
Hey, he'll always be Jimmy Jam in my heart, brother. They lost to the Road Warriors. Imagine that in a steel cage. 21-21 was the time.
Yeah, they sure did. The Road Warriors. The Road Warriors are on their way to the Crockett at this point. When did they go into Crockett?
I don't know. This is 86, and I know that they were at Starrcade 86. So
yeah, they were. So this is probably their last stint here.
Yeah.
No, they would come in. They would come in. No, they're there for the Crockett Cup.
Yeah,
and that's in April. When's this show? In April, also, right? I'm gonna say the show's in April.
This show.
Yeah.
God.
So they're doing both. They're both doing Crockett and AW at the same time. They're the Road Warriors, and they do shit like that.
And they allowed them to do that. So
yeah.
I mean, not for nothing. They're a good.
In terms of business acumen, the Road Warriors always had it where it counts. Now I'm of the opinion that post 1990, they probably should have changed their gimmick, refreshed it, not talking about like LOD 2000, that nonsense, not putting the shorts on, not that nonsense. That's what I'm talking about. Like, they either needed to split up or they needed to completely change their gimmick because it wasn't 1985 anymore, and we haven't seen Mad Max over there for quite a while. So they probably needed to change their gimmick at some point. Not here, but at some point. But in terms of overall business acumen, they're able to own their names, their likenesses. They own the Zuba company. Animal with his that's insurance policy with, was it Lloyd's of London? getting paid because they got injured in wrestling and then came back. Smart business guys.
I mean, they're a great tag team. I mean, it's like, it's.
Well, I wouldn't consider them the greatest tag team of all time, but they're close. Top 5, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, it's.
They don't have that match though. That fucking signature 5-star fucking match, but it's the Road Warriors. Did you really expect them to have 5-star fucking matches? But other than the scaffold match with the Midnights, like, can you really name like a super awesome, exciting Road Warriors match?
No. Nope, not for nothing. I could not. But
what about the Freebirds?
All their matches were gold. I mean, WCC in world class. I mean,
no, that's not no Jimmy Garvin in there though. That's what Buddy Roberts and Terry Gordy.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think they were great. Great run.
They had a really good War Games match at one time.
I mean, they were good in the NWA. I mean, the stuff I've seen. But
well, yeah, they had a good match with the Steiners and stuff.
I mean, and speaking of, like I say every week, we're gonna have a new rating system, the Retro Wrestling Rewind rating system. What would you give it between 1 and 10 for Wrestle Rock 1986?
Probably a 5. Halfway there.
Even with the Wrestle Rock Rumble that we heard at the beginning of the show.
That shit makes it a fucking 10 because that shit's fucking awesome.
Oh my god, Scott Hall, Kevin. Oh my god, it's like Scott Hall, Kurt Hennig. God, holy shit, it was amazing. But before we wrap up the show, once again, if people want to hear your voice and hear your co-host's voice talk about retro games, their wrestling games, their normal video games, how would they go about doing that besides clicking the show notes at the bottom of the page?
Well, do that first, for Christ's sakes. I mean, you spend time writing that shit. They should actually fucking click it.
Yes, they should.
Bastards. But you can find me at Retro Wrestling Games. You type it in the search bar. You'll see it. It'll pop up first. Click on the channel. You'll see all 292 videos that are currently up. Watch 1, watch 2, watch 1,000. Hit the like button, make a comment. Hit the dislike button. I don't care. Just do something. Oh, by the way, before we leave, you a big fan of Waylon Jennings? I feel like that you're a Waylon Jennings guy.
I was.
Because he's a concert right after this show. Like, it's part of like, did Dusty book this? Like, what the fuck?
I mean, I'm a big Waylon Jennings fan, but I mean, I'm from the South, so I mean.
Did he have those commercials during like fucking Crockett's TV all the time?
I think he did.
Was that one?
I think he did, yeah.
Like the Lifetime fucking series and shit?
Yes. If you send check or money for $19.99 to this address on the screen, you'll get nothing. But no, I mean, I would probably give it, I'd give it a 8, and with the Wrestle Rock Rumble, I'd give it a 20 if I could rate it that high. It was a good show. I mean,
good show. I mean, it just, if they had better production.
Yeah.
If they didn't get all those seats on the hard cam.
The camera was, God.
Was it in the middle of the fucking day, or were the lights that fucking bright? Holy shit.
All I know is that I'm in TV, and I was like, that was shitty camera work. I mean, it was definitely not a WWE.
They couldn't get fucking the world class people in there to fucking come in and shoot that. No Memphis people on the show either, which I find strange because I'm pretty sure they were working together at this point.
I mean,
I'm weird not to see Lawler.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely a great show. I mean, the next show that we've got coming up next week on the podcast is going to be episode 27. It's going to be Clash of the Champions XIV. That'd be 12, right? Yes. Dixie Dynamite. What?
That's 14, you weirdo.
Hey, I'm in TV. I can't count. That would be 14. Dixie.
Learn your Roman rules.
Shut up. Dixie. Hey. Dixie Dynamite.
The education system in the South is fucking ridiculous.
Hey, you know what? I got a great education. But it's Clash of the Champions 14, Dixie Dynamite. What were your thoughts going into this show next week, episode number 27?
I was 10 years old, and I fell asleep during the main event.
God, you were 10 years old. You know what I was doing back in 1991?
Jerking off?
Besides that, I was actually starting
up into a sock or a napkin.
Oh my God. I can't wait till we can do this together when we can see each other's face when we do this shit. No, I was actually in the world of professional wrestling. I had started ring announcing at a promotion up in North Georgia. So yeah, fuck that shit. I was not jerking off into a whatever.
Were you the ring announcer that was accused of sucking on toes? Is that you? That's Mel Phillips. You sure that wasn't you, though?
I was not there. I don't show up.
How come Mel Phillips doesn't have a podcast?
I don't know.
Him and Tony Atlas would be fucking fantastic.
Jeez. On that note, we will see you back here next week when we cover Clash of the Champions 14 Dixie Dynamite right here on Retro Wrestling Rewind.
Hey, what's up, wrestling fans? It's Boris and Bart on the Super Short Report for 1986. That is right. 1986 was an amazing year. It saw Hulk Hogan, the Immortal One, go up against the monstrous King Kong Bundy in the blue steel cage. I mean, everybody has to remember that vision of Hogan biting that blue steel cage, waiting for Bundy. It was just amazing, amazing television.
That is right. I must stop you there. And I must say, God rest the gigantic soul of the King Kong Bundy. He was a fantastic superstar.
He really was, Boris. You're right. You're 1,000% right.
My crazy thing for 1986 was Rowdy Roddy Piper returning to the WWF after his 750,000 retirement. But this Piper return, he is not the same Piper. He is a tamed down Piper for children and for TV. This is no good to Boris. This is not right. You turned the most heelish of the heels, the most evil of the evil, into a slightly watered down version. But this is okay. Piper was still fantastic.
That is true, Boris, and you know what? I never really thought of it that way, but Piper was extremely tamed down when he came back after that retirement. But my personal favorite thing about 1986, and I know it was yours too, Boris, was the amazing feud between Ricky the Dragon Steamboat and Boris.
The most macho of men, the Randy Macho Man Savage. He was fantastic in 1986.
He really, really was. I mean, it was unbelievable to watch those two work together. Crazy.
There is one part of that amazing storyline that people forget. You want me to tell you what it is?
Wow, yes, absolutely, Boris. That's really awesome work.
That's right. It took me a long time to come up with something that did not revolve around the enormous Nikolai.
Boris, you promised you wouldn't even say his name.
That's right, sorry. Anyways, when everyone remembers the Savage Man coming over the top rope, hitting the dragon in the throat with the bell. You remember this?
I do. That was crazy.
Yes, but do you also remember the man, the big Italian man from Pittsburgh, your hometown?
Yeah, Bruno. Yeah, is that who you're talking about?
That's who I mean. Bruno did not like this. He did not like what the Savage did to the Ricky the Dragon of Boats. He did not enjoy this. So he waited for the Savage.
Whoa, this is like I'm watching it for the first time.
Shut your mouth, let me finish. I will set the scene. Bruno is waiting in the back. He is waiting for the Savage Man to come back through the curtain so he can pummel him to the ground out of respect for his very close friend, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat.
Whoa, dude, I remember that. That was a cool part of that story.
That's right, that no one gives credit to the Bruno of Martino's, and this is not right.
Wow, that is so cool. I really want to thank you, Boris. You went above and beyond this week to really make this show nice, and I appreciate that.
Well, it is okay. I know last week was a bit rough, but I am here for you.
Well, that's great. Anyways, guys, join us next week. We're going to do 1987. It's going to be so awesome.
One more thing. Nikolai Volkov was the greatest star of 1986. I am very sorry.
See you next time, guys.
preceding podcast was an exclusive Retro Wrestling Rewind audio production. It may not be rebroadcast, retransmitted without the express written consent of David Fine and Alex G.